Hello and welcome. I'm Camila Lemia, and this is Rappler Talk. Today we will be talking to Senate President Aquilino Koko Pimentel III, one of the staunchest allies of President Rodrigo Duterte. He's also the president of the ruling party PDP Laban. We will be discussing with him the agenda of the 17th Congress as well as his stance on the recent spate of drug-related killings and other priority measures of the administration. Good day, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for this opportunity to talk to Rappler.
Yes, sir. First, can you give us a walkthrough of what we're expecting in the 17th Congress this year, second regular session? What are the measures that we expect to be passed by December?
Well, we want to fulfill the campaign promises of the President because the majority in the Senate are generally supportive of the plans of the President. So we have already achieved the following. No? So just to eliminate them from our list, like the validity of the passport, the validity of the extension also of the driver's license, to a certain extent free irrigation, we have given this, yung ating, and we are working on now the free tuition, free universal health coverage, and then marami pa pong iba, for example, the tax relief, yan, napaka-importante po yan.
In terms of the Senate majority-minority bloc, do you see any shifts happening anytime soon, or will it stay the same?
I think the definition of who are with the majority and who are with the minority has already stabilized. The count is 17-6, and I think it will stay that way for the rest of the 17th Congress.
Sir, you have plans of running in 2019.
Mm-hmm.
Are you planning to juggle being the Senate President and being a senatorial candidate? Because it's less than 2 years now.
Well, yes, there might come a time when I need to concentrate now on my re-election. So, but we're still far from that period of time. So, but theoretically, you are correct. There might come a time when you need now to think or to rethink where to focus, because being Senate President has its own responsibilities, and you also have your needs and your plans as a senatorial candidate.
Pero most likely that's 2018, kasi 2019 is the...
Late, especially maybe after October of 2018, so late 2018, because by October you have already filed. So you are now actually a candidate, so the pressures would be different now.
Sir, now let's go to the recently adopted majority resolution wherein you condemn the killing of 17-year-old Kian Lloyd de los Santos as well as the other drug-related killings. But critics also point out that after tens of thousands of killings, according to PNP statistics, why is the Senate only doing it now?
In the first place, there are no tens of thousands of killings. But thousands, meron po talaga. And the Senate majority all of a sudden had this sentiment that we really have to investigate this latest wave of killing formally. But it doesn't mean that from the start, when we already had these extrajudicial killings or killings as a result of police operations in drug raids, the senators were already concerned. We were discussing among ourselves. But we were overtaken by resolutions alleging that there's a Davao death squad, etc. So these were also investigated.
Sir, back when you said that you decided to have a formal investigation, what prompted that? Was it the public outrage?
But there was not only a public outrage, there was also an outrage among senators. So yun po yung katotohanan na. Oh, what's happening? How many killed in 24 hours or in 48 hours? Plus a minor. Then plus, I think some senators already saw the CCTV footages. So that is why we did not come up with the resolution because of the public outrage. There's also outrage among senators themselves.
Sir, with the new probe that's coming this week, what will it make of the committee report of Senator Richard Gordon saying there's no state-sponsored or President Rodrigo Duterte has no liability in the so-called extrajudicial killings?
Well, that's a finding. So actually, we are still going. That's the finding in the past. We're still conducting hearing on the recent incidents. That doesn't mean that we have already prejudged what has happened. That we are already abandoning the previous finding. Wala po
So
ganun.
magkaiba talaga
Ay, ba
sila.
po ito. Alam nyo, okay, let's say there are 1,000 deaths in police raids. Some definitely are, legitimate operations, or the killings were justified because totoong nanlaban. But baka meron diyang, anong tawag mo doon, artificially contrived nanlaban na story. So alamin po natin yan. But we cannot say na just because, let's say, may na-discover kang one summary execution that all of the other 1,000 deaths are also summary executions, especially with the fact that there was not only one operator or one team operating. These are hundreds of police teams operating. So each case should be approached individually.
Personally, what do you think of the case of Kian? Have you seen the CCTV video like your colleagues?
No, I have not. I have seen only what was aired in a certain channel, TV channel. That's what I've seen, with a person sandwiched between two other persons.
Pero what do you think of it? Is it
Now, I need to know if people are convinced that that is really Kian. Are we talking about that? Because there's a footage and there's a dead body, but are we talking about the same person?
so you still have many questions about
Yeah,
the
because I
case.
could not see the shorts, I could not see the face, I could not even see the shirt. But if some people can see this and point this out to me, if that is really Kian, then I think we know what happened.
When you said that we already know what happened,
No,
if that's really Kian.
Okay. We have a CCTV footage and we have a dead minor. Okay, and the timeline is that this happened the same night that the minor was killed. So, if it is confirmed that the person being sandwiched by two other males in that CCTV footage was really Kian, then since that was taken on the night that he was killed, then the story is easy to piece together.
Have you talked to President Duterte about this incident?
No, there's no need to talk to him about this incident.
Not yet. But
There's no need to talk.
why is there no need to talk with him about this case?
Because this is a police matter.
So, sir, some critics are pointing out that because of the statements of the president, police and other authorities are being encouraged to actually do what he's saying, like shoot, kill. And what can you say about that criticism?
That's why there's a need now for this hearing, because we need to find out from the chief PNP and the leadership of the PNP, how do you educate your police officers? Are they being educated? And I'm sure it's not all verbal. There's a written manual of rules and regulations on how to behave, how to operate, how to conduct a police operation, how to conduct a drug raid, how to conduct Oplan double barrel reloaded, or Oplan galugad, Oplan tukhang. I'm sure these are not all the rules. The rules and then the rules of engagement are not all verbally communicated. These are all in writing also. So we have to ask the PNP to produce the written rules and to tell us how their operatives are being briefed or educated.
So do you see a need for the PNP to conduct education trainings with their policemen after everything that's happening?
After the hearing, we will find out. So plus, how often do you do this? How often are they briefed? So.
Sir, how can you assure the public of an impartial investigation in this new hearing on drug-related killings? Because in the past, as I said, you already cleared the state, the police. So,
But that doesn't mean that because we cleared that was impartial. We always have, that was partial, I mean. We always have impartial hearings in the Senate, and we follow the evidence. So maybe in the past, there was no evidence which convinced the senators of any link. So, but should there be evidence, then we will also come up with our own objective conclusion. So we always try our best to be impartial and objective here in the Senate. We follow the evidence. Unfortunately, we don't follow cuento. We follow evidence. So some people, some of our countrymen, they love to follow stories. It's so easy to make up stories. So those who have stories to tell should appear before us and then substantiate the story, either by a really good story, nakapani-paniwala, kung may dokumento, plus documents, if there is object evidence, an object, and if there are witnesses, so corroborating evidence. So, ganun po yun.
Sir, with the recent public outcry against killings, and you have supported the President's drug war, fight against illegal drugs, do you still stand by that?
Of course. Okay. The Philippines, if we want to be respected as a sovereign nation, we must be serious in our business of governance. If we have a law, we should implement that law. We have laws against illegal and dangerous drugs. So we have to enforce these laws. But at the same time, ito nga parati ko sinasabi kay Chief Bato, also in private noon pa. This is law enforcement. That means we believe in the rule of law, in the value of our laws. We need to enforce them. But there is also another law, the revised penal code. Bawal din tayo pong pumatay. So we enforce the law in accordance with law. Yan po parati kong inuulit na siguro mga nakakaisang daan na akong salita ng ganyan.
Sa kanya?
Hindi lang sa kanya, kahit sa press releases ko, sa public statements ko. Okay. For the first time in the history of our nation, the administration, the President, has made it his priority all-out war against crime, drugs, and corruption. Masama ba yun? Walang masama doon. All-out war against drugs. Tama, kasi may batas tayo. So this is law enforcement. Therefore, we want to uphold the law. But we follow also the law. The law enforcers must follow the law. So, no summary execution. Wala pa nga tayong death penalty, meron ng death penalty. Kahit may death penalty, that is not the way to carry out death penalty. So yun lang po, paulit-ulit ako. This is law enforcement. We have this law. Let's enforce the law, but in accordance with law. So, what should be the instruction which should leave an impression in the mind of the police officer or the operatives? We are here to arrest. Ganun po yun. We are here to arrest. But then, of course, human self-preservation, if your life is under threat, you are allowed also by law, by that same revised penal code. May tawag po dyan na justifying circumstance, self-defense. So, ganun po yung pagka talagang under threat naman ang buhay din ng ating police officers, hindi naman sinabi din ng law na you sacrifice yourself for your country, pagpabaril ka dyan, binabaril ka na. Anyway, so, even if the law will not write this down, instinct na po yun, self-preservation, the police officers will fight back.
But I think the issue lang, sir, is that some are not believing the story that...
Correct. That's why. Now, let us say we have 1,000 of these killings in police drug raids. If the Internal Affairs Service of the PNP is not willing to go over each folder of those thousands of cases, then let the Senate do it. Wala nang tiwala ang senador sa internal affairs ng PNP. So kami nagagawa niyan. Sa 1,000, humugot tayo ng 50 na folder. Tignan natin. Ngayon, spot report ang tawag dyan. Okay, if the raid resulted in a death of a person, then it should be reported in the folder, in the spot report. Then let us compare. If it is just a cut and paste, na parati na lang, and it's only a conclusion, walang detalye, then we are not people who come up with the conclusion that, you know, this might have been a summary execution would not be faulted.
Will you suggest that to the body?
Yes.
To actually do it?
Yes.
Kasi sir, meron din naman kayong legislative duties that might get affected.
I will suggest to the chairman to challenge the PNP to produce 20, 30 randomly chosen spot reports of operations which resulted in a death of an individual.
And then the Senate will check it.
Tignan natin. Pag nakikita mo cut and paste yan, kalokohan na yan.
Sir, let's go to...
And di ba, ang sabi ko rin, as I've stated earlier, these are supposed to be different teams, right? Yeah. So different people are reporting, hence different words, people have different vocabulary, different location, different time. So dapat po merong uniqueness ang kada report ng raiding team.
Sir, let's go to another controversial Senate hearing which is ongoing right now. The inquiry into the 6.4 billion worth of smuggled shabu from China. And the name of Vice Mayor Paulo Duterte is being dragged into the controversy. What's your take on that?
Yun na nga, madali nga gumawa ng kwento. But we will follow the evidence. But kwento is not evidence. Ilan pa, ulit-ulitin ko po yun.
So far, sir, you don't see any evidence credible enough linking him to the alleged activity. Yes,
but the chairman is trying his best now to follow the evidence. So he's now looking for this Tita Nani. So may produce sila na hindi naman pala yun. So we follow the evidence. We don't follow kwento.
So sir, what can you say about criticism that you're trying to shield the president and his children?
Wala. We're not doing that. So
what would you like to say to critics?
I know that there is criticism, but I personally, I am not hurt because I am not doing that. I am a party mate of the president. I am the follower of the president. But we will follow the evidence. But we will also follow serious and grave charges. Huwag naman yung lahat na lang ng kritisismo as if the president can do nothing right. That's also an attitude which is also objectionable or wrong.
Today in the hearing, the customs fixer mentioned that the friend and the so-called handler of Pulong Duterte received bribe money. Do you see a need to call the vice mayor to a Senate hearing to, you know, face the music, to explain his side?
Why not call the friend first? Ganun muna. We follow the evidence. We do not follow and believe immediately all the stories. Madali lang po gumawa ng istorya. Ang dali-dali na po gumawa ng istorya ngayon.
Sir, now let's talk about your party, PDP Laban. How does it feel like before you're just ilan lang kayo sa party, but now you just inducted at least 35,000 members
in one province alone, in the province of Masbate. No, we are now a very large party, but this is nothing new to me because I've been with the party for 30 plus years. When Cory Aquino won, she was considered to be PDP Laban when she won. So PDP Laban also grew to be a big party. But unfortunately, it got there was a schism within the party and it got divided. So hopefully that will not happen this time.
I talked to your father, I think last month, and he said that you should check the motives of your new members because some of them might just be there out of convenience. They want to be associated with the president, and it will be easier so that it will be easier for them to win the 2019 elections. Correct. Are there efforts on your part to follow that?
We are aware of that motivation, and I'm sure we cannot screen them out 100%. But we will try our very best. I always tell those applying for membership into the party that please I hope that you're doing it because you believe in the party ideology and program of government, not because you want the certificate of candidacy issued by the party.
Pero
because that will not be easy in 2019. We will really screen our candidates.
how are you preparing, you as a potential candidate, how are you preparing for the 2019 elections?
Well, the usual pre-campaign activities of exposing yourself to your constituents all over the country, and at the same time studying the issues, getting to know more how government functions, etc.
Sir, you mentioned before, and I remember asking you about this, you are expecting your candidacy to be challenged before the High Court, before the Supreme Court. How are you preparing for
Maybe
that?
before the COMELEC. That would be the proper
COMELEC
venue.
first.
COMELEC first. And then
How are you preparing for that?
Whatever would be the result might be elevated to the Supreme Court. We are well prepared. I believe, and my team believes, that I can run again for the Senate. Because the rule is no person can sit as senator for more than 2 consecutive terms. So that's 6 plus 6, 12 years. In my particular case, although by fiction of law, it is as if I won in 2007, but I only got to sit as senator in August 2011. So meaning to say, yung original 6-year term or first term of 6 years, 1 year and 10 months lang po yung na-serve ko doon. So plus the second term ko na 6 years, if you add the total period, that's 7 years and 10 months. That's very far or very short from the 12 cap limit set by the Constitution. So logic, fairness, and common sense dictate that I should be allowed to run.
What about PDP Laban? How is the party preparing for the 2019 elections? Because as expected, it will be the ruling party.
So recruitment process, the party expansion, and then early identification of the candidates, especially the senatorial candidates, and then early designation of the campaign manager or the campaign managers, national and regional. So we will do all of this in due time.
Sir, can you give us some names, senatorial candidates?
From the party, from the party, we are looking at Francis Tolentino, Bobotinho, myself, and we are recruiting, but they have still not joined the party. But if he should join the party, then he will automatically be a party candidate, a JV Ejercito. So,
what about there are rumors that Bato will be running for the Senate? Have you talked to him?
But if he wants to run, he can run, but he's not yet a party member. So I'm answering from the point of view of the party.
Is Tolentino already a member of the party?
Yes.
How do you see the future of the SET case against Senator Laila de Lima? Because Tolentino filed a protest, right?
Hands off na muna ako doon because it's pending.
Sir, let's talk about the tax reform. You filed the exact version of Malacanang, but now your colleagues are not amenable to that.
It's not really exact because I added some ideas there, like on the estate tax, etc. Yeah, okay lang yun because all bills or most bills undergo some changes, and the author is not insulted or slighted just because the bill underwent some changes. Okay lang po yun. Basta the essence of the bill I filed is that it has 2 components. Tax relief. Relief po ito, hindi pampabigat, pampagaan ng buwis. Ng bigat ng buwis. And this is the campaign promise of the President and party program of PDP Laban. Okay, so ano po yun? we're going to adjust the tax rates because everybody with gross annual income of around 600,000 pesos would find themselves in the highest tax bracket as if they are already the richest Filipino. O, yun po yun. So, tax relief, ayusin natin yan. Once we fix the bracketing, the tax withheld, the tax taken would be smaller. So, more money in the pocket. So, yun po yun. That is the essence of the bill. The other one is so that the other campaign promise, party program of PDP Laban, which is to fix our infrastructure deficiencies, would be funded. So we need to raise some funds. But we are going to do this now not through income tax, because pinapagaan na natin yung income tax, but through some indirect taxes. Therefore, choice, those who will be affected will those people who will choose to enter into those transactions. Unfortunately, isa nga lang dun is the excise tax on fuel and diesel because of the widespread use of the item. A lot of people will also be subjected to the tax. But then there are some other taxes there, like sa luxury vehicles. Only those who will buy the most luxurious of vehicles will pay the higher tax. Ganun po yun.
Sir, but some are saying that it will affect the middle class. Are you afraid as a re-electionist that it might lessen your chances of getting elected? Because that's what history dictates.
No, it will not lessen because it will actually help my candidacy. Because the tax relief is the one which helps the middle class. It will be felt most by the middle class. Kaya nga ngayon ang inisip nga namin is because the lower class, the D and E, plus the daily wage earners have already been benefited by earlier income tax reforms. So yung daily wage earners are exempt from paying income tax, benefited na sila. But so this bill of mine will actually help the middle class. So we are thinking of ways on how to help, so that because we're helping now a certain segment, how do we help the segment below this segment which will be helped? Hence, the idea is to give these vouchers
to the affected sectors.
Additional to especially to all those already receiving CCT. May additional voucher kayo because you might be or you are for sure using also diesel or fuel in your public transportation, etc., etc. So yun yung tulong.
Sir, on another topic, you're close to the president and you've met with him several times. Have you ever tried talking to him to control or to lessen his pronouncements seemingly promoting killings?
Hindi pa siya president, nag-usap na po kami dyan. So kandidato pa po siya. Nasabihan ko na po siya dyan.
What did you tell him?
Ganun lang po yun na if he could lessen the mention of the word killing or papatayin, etc., etc., and why not turn this into a policy like proposing reimposition of the death penalty, etc.
Now, as the president, can you still talk to him like that? Can you still remind him or to caution him?
Well, nothing has changed in my relationship with the president.
What did he say? What did he say each time you tell him that?
Well, I don't nag him about it anymore.
Sir, any message to the public now that there's a strong sentiment or strong belief that the Senate will conduct its independent probe on the killings?
Don't worry about the Senate. We know what we are doing, and these are all independent-minded persons in the Philippine Senate right now. But let us also unite as a people, and for as long as the motivation is to fix the problem of the country, magtulungan po tayo. Let us support each other, including the President. And I know the President ayaw na niya man talaga niya maging presidente, but dahil sa marami talagang problema ng bansa, and siya lang po yung nakita naming may personality, may background, may credibility to be president to fix the intergenerational problems of our country. And he's trying his best to do this. Let us also help him.
Thank you very much, Mr. Senator.
Thank you very much.
And that was Senate President Aquilino Koko Pimentel III, one of the staunchest allies of President Rodrigo Duterte and the president of the ruling party, PDP Laban. Thank you for watching.